and welcome to Your Retirement Untangled TV. My name is Cynthia DeFazio. I'm joined today by Andrew Nida and Mo Param. They're founders of CloudVestors. Good morning, Andrew. How are you?
I'm doing great, Cynthia. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. Always a pleasure to be together.
Yes.
Mo, good morning. How are you?
Good. I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Thank you. Thank you for asking.
Absolutely. It's always so much fun to be together on the shows. And I know that you've been so extremely busy, obviously starting with the radio broadcast, but now segueing into television. You have been so incredibly blessed and busy. Tell the viewers a little bit about that, Andrew.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we're in a position with CloudVestors to really just engage with clients all over. And so, you know, one of the benefits is through the use of television, our new TV show that we've been having, that you're watching, and then the radio show, the podcast. You know, you got to check out our website, of course, as well. You'll find a lot of resources there. But we've had so many people just reaching out, looking for the type and the very uniqueness of a firm like ours and the services that we're bringing. That's so competitive in this marketplace that we're in
Sure.
our industry. So, you know, it's been a blessing really just to be a part of it and to be able to work with just the average American out there trying to make a difference financially for their family and then, you know, for their children. And so it's a blessing for sure.
And it's so amazing because you started CloudVestors with the vision in mind of having everybody to be able to just get to their information without needing to sit with their investor or their financial advisor face to face, Mo.
Right.
So you were ahead of the curve.
Yeah. Yeah,
Truly.
We really were. You know, we were ahead of the curve knowing and sawing a trend where, you know, the accessibility of technology, the accessibility of, you know, one being able to I mean, you can get your groceries delivered to you with the drop of a dime, you know, just by pressing a button here and there. So we saw that the people were getting comfortable doing finances and banking online.
Yeah.
And people were getting comfortable having relationships with different advisories online. So why not have a financial planning firm where we can still give you that same feeling as your traditional financial planner, where you're going to his or her office and sitting down with his or her team, still have that same relationship, still have that same guidance, but this time doing it on a virtual platform.
Yeah.
Where you're able to also have your advisor move with you. So whether you're on vacation, whether you decide to move from a different state, whether it's because you want to, or whether, you know, your job tells you you have to move because of X, Y, Z, you may not want to enter into a new financial relationship somewhere else.
Sure.
So you can still keep your financial planning team, your financial plan with you, no matter where you go.
Okay.
And so we saw that and decided, you know what, this is a great blend to offer to everyone.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I love how you're so virtual and that everybody can get all their information. Andrew, I want to talk to you a little bit today, if we could, about just planning for retirement as a whole. And just if someone is about, let's say, I don't know, 5 years away from retirement, and they're thinking about things like, should I pay off my mortgage? Should I pay down my debt? You know, what kind of things should people be thinking about?
Yeah, so, you know, if you're 5 years out, 10 years out, and number one, you need to be meeting with someone, putting a plan together, right? And questions like you're asking are very important. So paying off the house, you know, one thing that we're big on is being debt free. Sure. You know, we are endorsed by Dave Ramsey nationally, so, you know, we really like his philosophy when it comes to paying off debt and his budget plans. And the truth is there's just so much comfort, value to getting the house paid off, right?
Yeah.
But what most people can't do is quantify what that does to your plan. Andrew, should I take this cash I have, write a check, pay off the house? If I do that, then what does it look like in regards to my plan overall?
Sure.
Taking that money out from my estate. And so we have the ability to build a plan that's going to show the what ifs, if you will, in your retirement life. What if I pay it off? And more importantly, putting a strategic plan together for these clients to make sure they do get into a healthy place financially so that they can retire. And then prepared, you know, for the life to happen, you know, the what ifs to happen, as we've mentioned several times. So it's so important to be able to have a plan, to be able to answer clearly these questions. And, you know, individuals have worked, you guys have worked so hard your whole life to put together the assets that you have and to put yourself in a position to retire. So, you know, don't take those questions lightly. And that's what we're here to do.
Mo, do you always recommend having a true spending plan in place during retirement?
Oh, you have to.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a great way. I like how you put that, because
Spending
plan.
Yeah.
That's what my wife calls it. A spending plan.
Because when you use the B word, you know, budget, everyone
it's like,
they panic. You know, I can't stick to a budget. I don't know how to create a budget. And you're telling me not to spend money? No. When you think about it as a spending plan, it's you're going to spend money one way or another. Okay, so let's just cut to it.
That's fact.
You're going to spend money.
Sure.
But if you can spend it efficiently, if you know that it's part of my plan. We've outlined it. We knew that we're going to pay off the mortgage at 65 or 66. We knew that we're going to have home renovations. We knew that, we had this vacation coming up. If it's part of your plan, then it's fine.
Yeah.
So we always tell clients, always come back to the budget. If we can control the outflow, we know what the income's coming in, we know what can come in. But if we can minimize what's going out, we just put ourselves in a better position.
But so many people have a tough time understanding what that outflow is.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think it's maybe just daunting really to try to get a clear indication of where their money's going. And so most people are like, I don't even know.
Yeah.
How do I even figure out what I'm going to spend in retirement? And so expenses are so important, and there is so much that goes to that. But more importantly, that is your demand. That's their demand for cash flow from the monies that they've saved.
Sure.
And so understanding the income need in relation to their investment plan or their investment strategy is so important.
Right.
We hear so many people talk about this 4% rule, right? And so people blindly believe that, hey, as long as I can take 4% out of my assets and I can live within that number, well, then I'm fine. But the problem is what happens if we don't have the fastest recovery in American history,
Right.
and your assets are left at 30% reduced value relative to what they were January the 1st. That 4% is no longer 4%, it's 6.5% as an example.
Yeah.
So, just having an understanding of what your costs are, and if you don't know how to do that, that's what we do, is making sure you get a good reality check on what expenses look like in retirement.
Absolutely. Mo, are you hearing a lot of people say, I'm going to downsize. I'm just going to get rid of the big house and I'm going to downsize. Are you hearing that quite a bit?
Yeah, I'm hearing that. We're going to downsize. Once we retire, we'll downsize, and that could be all true and could be fine. It could be a situation, but are you prepared for that?
Yeah.
Financially, downsizing doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be in a lower house.
That's
as
true.
far as payments concerned.
That's true.
Right now, the real estate market is a hot place to be, a hotbed right now, depending on what part of the country you live in.
Sure.
Downsizing doesn't necessarily mean that my house payment is half.
Absolutely.
It doesn't mean
So
that.
true.
It's so true. So, are you ready to downsize?
Yeah.
Mentally and physically and financially, are you ready to do that? So, but if you can do it, if you can downsize, and it fits within the budget, that could be a perfect thing for you to be in, where we're lowering your expenses, we're lowering that outflow, but just don't. I would hate people to walk into retirement thinking that downsizing is just the name of the game and downsizing is so easy to do, because it may not be.
Yeah, the market may not even be in a position.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
market may not allow you to downsize.
Absolutely. Well, Andrew, we're about ready to open up the phones for the very first time this week. Can you tell the viewing audience what they can expect to receive by being one of your callers?
Absolutely. And we do this, guys, on almost every show that we do. But of course, we limit it to the 10 callers that reach out, the first 10 callers. And what we're offering on today's show is a tested financial plan. If you have the questions for your story in your life on whether or not I should pay off the house, should I go ahead and get debt free? Should I maximize my 401k or fund the Roth? Should I open up a brokerage account? And you're trying to understand how all these elements impact your financial future, you should be the top 10 reaching out. There's no question about it. If you have questions, that's what our team is here for. Now listen, I know you're probably thinking, Andrew, I know you guys probably work with higher net worth clients, and that's true. But if you're out there and you're sitting at $200,000 of assets, I want you to know if it's important to you, it's important to us. Reach out. If you're the top 10, you're going to get a tested financial plan.
Thank you so much, Andrew. Thank you, Mo.
Sure.
To the viewing audience at home, the phone lines are now open. The number to call once again is 866-792-5855. We realized in the past the phone lines have been busy, so this week we've added another additional phone line for your convenience. The number to call once again is 866-792-5855. We know you have a lot of questions about planning your perfect stress-free retirement. When we come back, we're going to have more questions for Andrew and for Mo about making sure that you can retire comfortably and with peace of mind. So please stay tuned.
How confident are you in your current financial plan? Do you know with certainty how the recent market volatility will affect your future hopes and dreams? How much are you paying in taxes? And how much are you losing to unnecessary high fees? You didn't work to save this money so that you could spend your time worried in retirement. Now is the time to take charge of your finances so you can feel confident about your future. Call in during the next 30 minutes of today's show only to set up an absolutely complimentary, no obligation, full-blown financial review that will result in your own customized written plan. This is a $999 value that we're giving away complimentary to the first 10 people who respond. We'll start with a full-blown analysis of what you already have by running a report to untangle how much you are currently paying in fees, how you're allocated for risk, and what it's costing to work with your current advisor. Next, we'll identify your goals. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Where do you want to go, and who do you hope to go there with? Is your current financial plan set up to get you there without mishap? Let's design a roadmap to create a financial plan you can follow with confidence. Get the piece that so many people are missing from their retirement. Find out how having a written plan can make a difference to your retirement dreams. Call now to schedule your complimentary, no obligation, full-blown financial review today.
Welcome back to Your Retirement Untangled TV. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, and I'm joined today by Andrew Nida and Mo Param. They're the founders of CloudVestors. Andrew, I have to ask you a question. Obviously, going through the pandemic, the COVID-19, how were you able to manage money during those times? What did it look like for you?
Yeah, that's a good question, and I think what many listeners are asking out there, right? Have you guys handled it? How did you handle it? You know, one of the beauties about how we manage money here at CloudVestors is we have the ability to do something that a lot of investors really just don't have the ability to do, and that's the ability to diversify the management approach. And what I mean by that is if you guys are hiring an investment advisor, technically what they're hiring, Cynthia, is they're buying into the way that we manage money.
Okay.
An investor is basically saying, listen, I'm trusting that your way of managing money, what drives your buy and sell process, is better than ours. And that's what they're buying when they work with us. Well, the truth is there's not one process that works better consistently than everybody else. If that was the case, you know, me and Mo would go work for the perfect firm and we would be done, right?
Right.
But the truth is not one process works best all the time. So what we do here at CloudVestors is bring on literally the best of the best, some of the most well-respected names in our industry from an investment standpoint, some of the best portfolio managers out there, and build a single investment strategy that includes different approaches to the market. It sounds sophisticated, but ultimately the goal is just to provide a better experience from an investment standpoint to the client, especially through a year like this year.
Sure, absolutely. Mo, how important is communication with your clients? Do you have just an advisor out there? Because we hear this so often that you know, when the market went through the instability that it did and it crashed basically, people were not hearing from their advisors.
Right.
So how important is communication?
Communication is key. You know, communication is key to any relationship, and especially in a relationship with a financial advisor. And so what we offer our clients is an ability to counsel them and educate them. You know, we do take our approach as a heart of a teacher when we talk to our clients.
Sure.
And so we educate them on reasons why we're doing certain things that we're doing. You know, why are we managing money in this particular way? You know, why did your assets move from one asset class to another? Well, because we saw that the market was doing this, and to protect your assets or to best leverage where we are in the market right now, we needed to do this. And so explain to them what we're doing. You know, clients are inundated with articles they read on social media, that they watch on TV, and they have questions about it.
Sure.
And we want to be able to have a platform and an ability to answer their questions,
Yeah.
you know, calm their fears down. And so communication with us is huge.
Sure.
You know, it's not, you don't hear from us until your annual review. Once a year, you're going to hear from us. No, we're not going to inundate you with calls all the time. But if we feel like it's something that we need to reach out to you for, we will. And if you feel that you need to reach out to your advisory team for whatever the reason is, do it. You know? So communication is key.
Communication, I'll add to this, communication might have made a lot of our clients a lot of money just by helping them out with the emotion and the fear.
Sure.
You know, for several, not many, but some clients, right, I get it. The market's, you know, falling, and of course we're doing our job, and we did a great job, but the reality is it's unnerving. This whole year is unnerving.
Yeah.
And so being able to work with them through that emotionally, to go back to the plan and say, listen, we're taking risk in the right areas of your plan. We built a plan that's proven and tested. So this is not risk that you can't afford. You can afford to take it. And of course, the end result of this thing is we've managed money extremely well. And you know, being in a fiduciary role at CloudVestors, our clients know that, hey, when my team is making changes and the investments change, I know wholeheartedly that they're doing it for my best interest, because nobody's making any money in any other way. It's just because we think ultimately it's best for that client. And so I think, you know, communication's huge, and then of course making sure that we're in tune with how their money's managed in this market is so vitally important.
Mo, to the viewers at home that may not understand what a fiduciary is, why is it a benefit to working with a fiduciary versus someone who's not?
Sure. It's all about interest. You know, whose interest is put at first, and whose interest is your advisory putting ahead of time. And so with a fiduciary, we legally have to put the client's best interest ahead of ours. You know, that it sounds like, well, shouldn't everyone be doing that? But not everyone has that standard, and not everyone legally has that obligation to do that. So as a fiduciary, every recommendation, every transaction, everything that we do, the plans we create, all have to put the client's needs and interests first. So essentially, we're sitting on the same side of the table as the clients. You know, so we're riding the market waves, we're making changes, we're adapting, and we know, and the clients know, that everything we're doing is because it is what we feel is deemed best for them.
Well said.
You know, other advisors don't have that standard, that high level of standard, and so, you know, that is something that if you're one question of communication you should have with your financial advisor is ask him or her, are you a fiduciary? And if they're not, it could be something to call CloudVestors on, because you've definitely, in our opinion, and the Warren Buffetts of the world, the Dave Ramseys of the world, the Tony Robbins of the world, all say you need to be working with a fiduciary. It's that important. That you're working and you have that financial team that's aligned with your best interests.
Absolutely. And also, Andrew, that gives a person peace of mind that you're giving the same advice to them as you would to your family, to your best friends, if you will. You're putting their needs first, just as you would someone in your very own family.
Yeah, I think that's a great way of putting it. I mean, you know, you're not working here at CloudVestors with someone that, you know, earns a salary, right? We make a living off of helping our clients. We make a living off of making them money, right? If they win, we win. That's how it works. So we're very much incentivized in a way that's in line with the performance of their overall plan and the performance of their investments. So it's important for our clients to know that it means everything to us, that we do the right thing both in a good market as well as in a poor market. And so I like the way you said it. You know, you guys should be asking questions. You know, did my financial advisor reach out? Did he make any changes through this down market? Or was his comment, hey, well, we rebalance on a quarterly basis, or we rebalance? You know, we always give this a hard time, but the truth is, what does your anniversary date have anything to do with the markets, right? Rebalance quarterly, what does the end of the quarter have anything to do with the markets, right? You want to work with someone that you know has their eyes on your monies every day, and has, you know, they're in tune with what the markets are doing, and they're in tune with the performance of their accounts.
Absolutely.
That's what we're doing.
Absolutely. Mo, we're about ready to open up the phone lines again to the viewing audience. Can you tell them what they can expect to receive by calling in?
Yes. So for the first 10 callers, we're offering this amazing opportunity. This opportunity to have a full-blown tested financial plan. We're going to look at everything. We're going to look at your investment management. We're going to look at the fees you're paying within your investment portfolio. We're going to look if your financial plan is tested for increase in inflation. Have you addressed taxes in your financial plan? So what we're offering for the next 10 callers is a full-blown tested financial plan. And it's a complimentary for the next 10 people to call.
Thank you, Mo. Thank you, Andrew.
Absolutely.
To the viewers at home, once again, the number to call is 866-792-5855. We know you have a lot of questions about planning your perfect retirement. Andrew and Mo have the answers for you. Again, the number to call is 866-792-5855. We'll be right back momentarily.
As a good saver, you've been putting away money during your working years. Studies find that the biggest fear of retirees is running out of money. Market volatility isn't just the downward movement of stock prices, it's the size and frequency of change. The more dramatic the ups and downs, the higher the volatility. This can put savers who are newly retired or a few years away from being retired at greater risk. Today's generation of retirees is not receiving traditional pensions as our parents or grandparents did. Instead, we have retirement accounts such as 401ks or 403bs. These accounts typically expose your money to market risk. The last thing you want right before retirement is to lose a portion of the money you need for income. But how do you turn these accounts into a retirement income? Is it safe to keep all your retirement money sitting in the stock market? The last thing you want is to lose a portion of the money you need for income due to market loss. By working with a financial professional, you can learn how to turn a portion of your savings into an income stream for life and income for the life of your spouse if you're married. We all have moments in our lives when we wish we had taken action sooner. Don't let procrastination reign on your retirement parade. Act now before it's too late. Please call our office to set up your no-cost, no-obligation retirement income review today.
Welcome back to Your Retirement Untangled TV. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, and I'm joined today by Andrew Nida and Mo Param. They're the founders of CloudVestors. Andrew, an amazing show that we're delivering to the viewing audience, Mo as well. So many questions that are surrounding the retirement years. What advice can you give someone who's in the viewing audience today that's perhaps, let's say, 5 years away from retiring?
Be in tuned.
Be in tune?
Be in tune with your money, right? I mean, once again, you guys have worked so hard to get to where you are. Have an awareness of what's going on. If you don't, and you don't even know how to get an awareness of what's going on, you should be definitely the 10 that call at the end of the segment, for sure.
Yeah.
So get an awareness, and have an understanding of what your money looks like, for sure.
Absolutely. And that would have been 5 years out, but 10 years, Mo. So we've talked about this a little bit in the past as well. Just really just saving and making sure that you're in a great place.
Yeah, making sure you're in a great place, making sure you're taking advantage of different accounts that are available to you. So what we've seen is some clients or soon-to-be clients, aren't taking advantage of their 401ks through their employers, aren't maximizing the matches. You know, they're not looking at different options of tax-free income during retirement. So getting a good sense, a good grasp of different ways for you to save money.
Yeah.
You know, 10 years can come by in a blink of an eye.
Sure.
You know, so are you saving at a great clip so that we can go to retirement in a very peaceful way? Yeah.
Absolutely. And Andrew, just to recap again, so we talked about the importance of paying off debt. We talked about just making sure that you're aware of the changes that are coming up. Let's just say even with the election if year, we just have to throw that on the table.
Yeah,
right?
let's do it. Let's just throw it out there.
A little bit, because that could change the way that people are planning as well.
Yeah, I mean, let's just be honest, guys. This is a wild year.
Yeah.
A wild year from a political perspective, a wild year just in our country, socially. I mean, there's a lot going on. And, you know, all of that in some aspects relates to money. And you think, well, how is there a connection there? Well, there is. I mean, the truth is the administration that's currently in the office has lower tax rates, and we don't know if that will stay the same. And it doesn't matter really who you're, pulling for from a political standpoint. It's to making sure that your plan is proven regardless of what happens. And so, there's a lot of things that unfortunately, well, the reality is markets, historically the political environment or a political year, election year, doesn't really have a massive effect on the markets. I think that historically that's proven. Right. So if you're out there and you're trying to figure out what to do here, should I raise cash? Don't make a guess. I think that's one important thing to do. More importantly, get a plan together that can withstand whatever happens in the future. As it comes to play, as it comes to life, let's just be ready and have a plan that's adaptable enough to the facts that we'll soon know and see.
Absolutely. Mo, what kind of questions are you seeing to be normal right now? People that are preparing for, let's just say, of course, the election that's coming in November. Right. Are you getting a lot of questions directed at you, like, Mo, what are your thoughts? What should I do? What can you guide me? This is probably a lot.
All those questions, No, we're definitely getting questions about that. If so-and-so, if one person wins, one party wins, what's that going to do with taxes? If the current administration stays in place, how does my investments should be positioned accordingly? So we are getting those questions, and what we're telling our clients to do is let's take a step back. Let's go back to the plan. Like Andrew mentioned, this isn't the first election. It happens every 4 years. So whether one party wins or another, you don't want to build your plan on making sure that you get it right.
Yeah.
And who wins?
It'd be a terrible mistake.
It'd be a terrible mistake.
Yeah.
What you want to do is be able to depend, no matter who wins, have the ability to adjust your plan accordingly. One of the biggest things is taxes.
Sure,
You know?
sure.
And if you have, like Andrew mentioned in our shows in the past about the power of good tax planning, right? And so if you can combine true good tax planning with great investment management, it really doesn't matter who wins,
Okay.
because your plan will win with those two ingredients put together.
That's right.
So really, at the end of the day, Andrew, the most important thing that we need to drive home to the viewing audience is that they need a plan.
Yeah, absolutely. And you need a plan, and then inside that plan, you need your money actively managed, especially through a year like this. I think, Mo, you put it well. We're not taking a guess at what the markets are going to do, but we're going to manage with whatever the markets give us, right? So if you're out there, I think the common term to be used in this year is probably the word fear. There's just been so much fear, and we know that fundamentally you can't manage money when you're afraid, because when you're emotional about the markets, you tend to shift to cash and miss an earnings year, or stay invested or over allocated and get too much risk involved. So you need to work with someone that can disconnect your emotion away from how the money's being managed. Now, we have a very, very rules-based, fundamental approach to managing money, and it works well. So for you guys out there, if you're out there and you're saying, I don't know what to do with this election, I'm worried that I can't handle, the risk that could be involved, and the reality is your money's probably not actively managed. You're probably holding some mutual funds that you've never traded in the last 10 years. You're hoping for the best, and it's kind of a roll of the dice. The reality is for that individual, they ought to be the first 10 callers to reach out.
Right.
And if it's okay, I'm going to go right
Andrew,
into the
please.
offer, okay?
Absolutely.
Because it is so important. So if you're out there, you're nervous, you're afraid, you don't know how your money is positioned in relation to what risk we're getting ready to see or have been seeing throughout this year, you ought to be the first 10 callers to reach out. What we're going to do is not only build a tested retirement plan. Inside of that, we're going to do a portfolio analysis for the next 10 callers to show you exactly how you're allocated, what risk you're taking, to make sure that you're ready and prepared, that your money is going to be proven to be successful through whatever happens in the future. And that's so important. So for the next 10 callers, reach out now. We'd love to help.
Andrew, thank you so much. Mo, thank you so much. To the viewing audience at home, thank you again for spending time with us this morning. The number to call is 866-792-5855. We look forward to seeing you back next week, same time, same place. Be safe, be happy, be blessed, and thank you again for watching.